Hey everyone, if you're in government contracting, you need to stop what you're doing and listen up. Because what I'm about to share is going to impact your business probably in a big way. A brand new rule change has just sent a massive shockwave through the entire industry, and we're going to break down exactly what you need to know to navigate it.
And I'm not exaggerating when I say everything. The very foundation, the core of what it means to be a certified, disadvantaged business enterprise, it's been completely torn down and rebuilt. This isn't just some minor tweak. It's a whole new rulebook for the entire game.
All right, let's dive into the details. So, on October 3rd, 2024, the U.S. Department of Transportation dropped something called an Interim Final Rule, or IFR for short. And this one document has totally upended the DBE program, a program that's been running pretty much the same way for decades.
Okay, so here is the single most critical change you need to understand. The old system of group presumption is gone. Finished. For years, you could get certified based on being a member of a specific group. Well, that's over. The new rule demands individual, documented proof of disadvantage from every single applicant, no exceptions.
So, you're probably asking, how do I provide that proof? The answer is this: the personal narrative, or PN. This is now the absolute cornerstone of your application. But don't think of it as just telling your story. It's more like building a legal case. You have to provide a detailed, evidence-backed account of specific barriers you faced. For instance, were you denied a loan even though your financials were solid? Or maybe you couldn't get bonding for a project you were perfectly qualified for. Those are the exact kinds of systemic roadblocks you now have to prove and document.
And look, this isn't just about filling out a new form. The ripple effects from this rule have kicked off a massive nationwide disruption. Let's really look at the impact this is having right now.
The fallout was, well, immediate. First off, all new DBE contract goals, they're suspended until this all gets figured out. Second, and this is huge, every single business that's currently certified as a DBE has to be re-evaluated under these brand new rules. The burden of proof has completely flipped from the government to you, the business owner. And, just to make things more interesting, states are all reacting differently, which is creating a whole lot of chaos and confusion.
This table right here just perfectly illustrates the chaos. I mean, look at this. In Texas, the message from TDOT is prepare now. But head over to Washington and they're saying wait for guidance. Then you have South Dakota telling firms they're effectively decertified and have to start all over again. And Pennsylvania, they're creating this weird two-tiered system. It's an absolute logistical nightmare if you're a business owner just trying to stay compliant. And if you want to understand the sheer scale of this challenge, just look at this number, over 41,000. That's how many certified firms across the country now have to go through this reevaluation process. That is a monumental task, not just for the businesses, but for the state agencies that have to somehow process every single one.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's big, it's messy, and it's happening right now. But let's shift gears and talk about the solution. What can you, as a business owner, do today to protect your certification? Here is your action plan.
Let's walk through this survival checklist together. Step 1 seems simple, but it's critical. Update your contact info. You cannot afford to miss a deadline because an email went to the wrong address. Step 2, and I can't stress this enough, start drafting your personal narrative now. This isn't something you can whip up overnight. Step 3, get your financials in order and pay really close attention to that personal net worth statement. Fourth, do a quick internal audit. Make sure you still meet all the size and ownership rules. Fifth, and this is so important, you've got to monitor your state's guidance daily. It could literally change tomorrow. And finally, step 6, get some help. Seriously, this process is way too complex and the stakes are just too high to try and go it alone.
Which brings us to our final thought here. How do you take this massive disruption and actually turn it into an opportunity to secure your place in the market? And let's really focus on that challenge from step 6, seeking support.
And let's just be really clear about this. This new process is designed to be challenging. Crafting a compelling, evidence-based narrative and pulling together all the financial proof, well, it's a huge undertaking. It's a very specific skill, and getting it wrong could cost you your certification. This is exactly where professional support becomes a game changer. I mean, expert consultants, like the folks at ICASAR, they live and breathe this stuff. They can help you evaluate your eligibility under these new rules, prepare a powerful personal narrative that actually meets the new standard, and make sure all your financial documents are totally bulletproof. It's really about taking all this anxiety and turning it into a clear, confident compliance strategy. And that's really the question this all comes down to, isn't it? The rules have changed. The game is now all about proving your individual story of disadvantage.
So take a second and ask yourself, are you truly prepared to tell that story? Because in this new era of government contracting, it just might be the most important story you ever tell.